Day 3 of the Tour of Italy sees the riders continue their road southwards. The 219-kilometre route starts in Vinci, a name more suited to a stage victory, and ends in Orbetello. In between lie a couple of early, short and steep climbs that would encourage a breakaway. The latter might gain some TV exposure for the sponsors, but there's little doubt about the finale. The second half of the race is more than favourable to the sprinters. The lead-out men will have earned their risotto alla pescatora close to the Tyrrhenian Sea.
Oh boy, they're attacking a long way from home. Several riders are attempting to break away.
And so, here we have it for stage 3 of the PCM League. As you can tell, it's running off.
Counter-attack by Nadadorskas.
Ekhoff on an early breakaway right now, just like usual way he does it. But stage 2, Thomas keeps the lead. Will he keep it under pressure? We'll have to see.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
This route is a hill one. There's like several climbs over here, but we have a mountain climb sprint with 2 regular sprints, so we'll have to see. Second place in the climb. But let's take a look at the climbing leader and see how Finetto is doing. Finetto decided, well, he is in the peloton.
A rider is down, and he's not going to be able to carry on. Let's hope it doesn't jeopardize the rest of his season.
Pogacar
a leader is down! The team plans could well be turned upside down.
Pogacar's
Several
down.
riders are in trouble.
Van Vito's down. Sweet is down.
The escapees have surrendered. The pack gave them no chance.
Down.
The peloton has definitely accelerated, meaning that an attack is highly unlikely. There's a breakaway. He's just pulled off his race number. That's it for him.
And we have a withdrawal. And let's take a look at viable part here. Will we see? We have one rider withdrawn from the competition.
There's a few riders jockeying for position at the front.
He's in the breakaway, but not too far off. Sutherland. I don't know. If I were them, like if I were to race in the track, I would just hold off the breakaway very early because I know there's a climb. So I'll use my energy for the climb and then I'll just relax on the downhill. Once I relax on the downhill, then I'll set up for the sprint. That's my that would be my strategy from the beginning. For the beginning part. And we will have to see. Let's take a look at Sutherland. Sutherland's over here doing the work. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at the younger rider, Sergio. He is 21 seconds ahead of Pogacar. And due to the fall from Pogacar, who is now back at the peloton,
the lead rider is now more than 2 minutes ahead of the peloton. The pack really doesn't look interested in following the breakaway. Things have slowed right down.
Let's take a look at as they're heading to climb. But see, that's what I tell you about the climb here. You gotta save your energy through the climb. We will have to see. go who's gonna get to the top first, because the top will lead to the beneficiary of the race. As we were getting ready for the first sprint.
Look, the pack has taken its foot off the gas. The team leaders can't be too worried about the breakaway.
No. Let's see how that works. Here, this is the climb, the struggling climb. 10 minutes skew is trying to get ready here. Will he be able to catch up? We will have to see. We'll have to see. They reached the top finally. But let's take a look at the peloton, see if they master the climb. Looks like they are done with the climb.
The peloton seems to want to wind the breakaway back in. Now they're riding, and the gap is melting away. For the moment, the riders seem to be saving energy.
And here comes the downhill, though. You gotta get the downhill correct. You have to see it. You have to see here. Here. There's only 2 riders in the breakaway out of the late. But we are getting ready for the first sprint. Take a look here. Good. He is trying to claw back away from the terrible start. He's clawing back away from the terrible start of the after the stage. But let's take a look at the last place now from the GC. Chivendash. Chivendash is in the middle of the pack. Will he be able to exert energy to get out last place? But we'll take a look. So we'll take a look at what happened here. See there. Now let's take a look at the breakaway as they're approaching the 5-kilometer mark. Let's take a look here. See what happens. Let's see. Who's gonna win this sprint here? We gotta take a look at the sprint. They're coming this way. This is the sprint. Who's gonna win it? And it looks like... Good Lord. And that sprint win goes to Sutherland. 3 points. Esco 6 points with 2.
The pack is putting the squeeze on the breakaway. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway
Here's
group.
the other sprint at Grozetto over here. They just finished the sprint at Pogobunski. But right now they have several climbs and flat stages left over. But we'll have to see here. But anyway, guys, we'll take a short break and we'll see what happens next in this race.
Into the second half of the race, the riders are going to be more and more on their guard.
And we are back here with we are halfway done of the stage. We will see what happens here. I don't know, Sutherland and Tasmania is basically over their side of the woods. But let's take a look at the last place rider for the young riders. Kenny Molly. Kenny Molly is at the back of the peloton. Let's see where he goes. And Molly needs to catch up on the rider standings. He is 7 minutes and 25 seconds back. So we'll see how that goes. But let's take a look back at the breakaway as they're in the top portion of the mini climb here. Let's see. But so far, with that breakaway, Sutherland could take over the lead. He could take over the lead if he keeps this up. And Higuita is...
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
This breakaway, Tamanescu, I know he wants to move up. He actually wants to move up on the GC at this point. But let's take a look at the leader of the GC class, which is Thomas, who's also currently the leader in points. Will we see a change in leader status? But will we see Latour?
The pace is really hot, so for the moment, we shouldn't see too many attacks.
Take over the lead. It's a matter of when. It's a matter of how fast they're going. As they go through the they're going to go through this steep downhill.
There's a mass crash in the pack, but it doesn't look too serious. There are some legs that just can't take the speed anymore. The riders are being left behind.
And there's a crash by Bookwalter. So now they're trying to catch up. They're going to try and catch back up to the peloton. We already have one withdrawal today. Consoni is at the back.
Oh, a rider has taken a tumble. Fortunately, nobody went down with him.
Caruso here. He fell down. And now he's back up. And he's going to try and chase back down the peloton. It's a bad break. It's a bad break for the guys that fell down. But with a withdrawal, they may seem like it's light. But actually it's not. It makes it even more competitive. But here we go. Going on to the next two sprints. Will we figure out who's going to win this one? We'll have to wait and see when we'll be right back. And we are 60 kilometers from the race being over. But we just have the next sprint here. This is the next sprint. As we can see, here they come. Here comes the leaders. Who is going to win the sprint today? Who's going to win the sprint today? We will have to find out right now. Here comes the peloton here. And it goes to... Ooh. Stutterland winning both times already. Almost mirrored, but we got a mountain climb coming up next over here. We gotta take a look at the leader, see how he's doing it right now. He is staying back. He is staying back from the pack. And he is trying to figure out. I mean, the only way you can do this is if you're able. Is if the final sprint, but if you're able to survive the climb, if you're able to survive the climb, then that means that you'll have a chance. Seneschal over here is at the head of the pack over here for the peloton. But Dibbins, we gotta take a look at Dibbins. Dibbins went 53rd from that one. If you guys haven't know, the best climbers will receive a blue jersey. Purple jersey goes to the top of the point standings, while the GC will get the pink jerseys or magenta jerseys. I prefer to call pink for it to be called pink jerseys. But here we go. The climb at Poggio La Aperta over here. We have to take
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
This is the climb. Who's gonna win this climb today?
Breakaway!
Millard and Finato.
The Entente in the escape group is far from cordial. There are a couple of riders who want to do it alone.
Millard finished in 3rd place after the climb. As we take a look at the rest of the peloton from the climb. Try to take a look at the rest of the peloton. We are getting close to the finish over here. We gotta take a look back at the peloton as they are on pursuit of the leading riders. Well, we see a news here. Like I like what Sutherland is doing right now. He's trying to gain the points here.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
I tell you, Sutherland, he is on a charge. 57th place in the GC. He's now 7th place in the GC right now. But I believe after the point sprints, he's making up ground. He's making up ground for those points in stage 3. We have 2 short climbs left, and then we got several flat hills, and then it leads to the finish line. Hopefully, we will see what happens. We gotta see what happens here.
The pack is slowly whittling away the lead.
But the lead is being cut back now. Look at Sutherland.
There's an attack in the group at the front.
Sutherland was like, no, I want this lead. I want this lead. I want to win the stage. But is it too frantic? We take a look at the 3rd chase group. The 3rd chase group is chasing, but they went back to the peloton. We have to take a look at Sutherland again. Sutherland is basically just running away.
Attack from a rider.
Carapaz is catching up to Sutherland. But we are going to be in the midst of 20.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed. The little promenade is over. The group has been overhauled. There's nobody out in front, so with less than 20 kilometers to go, it's beginning to look as though it's going to end in a mass sprint.
Let's see. Here we go. This is going to be a mass sprint here. Let's take a look at the leader. The leader is at the back of the pack. But it's a matter of who's going to get down to the final sprint. Seneschal. Let's take a look at Seneschal right now. Seneschal in back here with at least 15 kilometers left to go. But let's take a look at
the finish line is getting close. The riders have just passed the 15 kilometers road sign.
Our fellow Canadian. See what he has been doing. Right now, he is 70th in the GC group here. But
the riders have upped the pace.
But let's take a look at Pogačar. After the fall, he just got back. He got back to the peloton, and he's still in this. Let's take a look at Pogačar. 30 seconds back.
There are just 10 kilometers left.
The 10 kilometers left in the until the sprint, until the final sprint here. Who is going to win this?
The sprinters are positioning themselves up front. It'll probably be a mass sprint finish.
If you want to sprint to win the stage, you have to be in front. Just like what Thomas is doing. Just like what they're doing right now. They're trying to get their sprinters on. We'll have to see. 5 kilometers left to go.
There are just 5 kilometers left.
And if you get the point, and basically if you win this stage, you shave off a lot of times, 10 seconds. But let's take a look at the finish line over here. With just 3 kilometers left to go.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
Who's gonna take it here? This is gonna be close. And the winner is
a great victory! He didn't overextend himself. He was certainly the smartest today.
In the stage, Nizola finished third. Trenton and Consoni, who fell, run off the top 5. But Thomas, the GC leader.
The race is run, but the poor souls bringing up the rear continue to cross the line. It's a bit of a knock for the morale.
We'll see. Who is at the back? Nope. Nobody at the back here. But seems like everybody but the finish. We'll have to see the results. The sprint. This vile sprint. Thomas still the GC leader. But Clark takes over the points lead. After Clark finished in second place of stage 3, he takes over the lead. But Thomas is just nowhere there. But as the win from the stage for Ashbrook, he joins the list of the PC points. But you can take a look at what happened. Oh my lord. But we have a withdrawal. We have a withdrawal of Noetzka over here. He fell at the beginning. He's like, that's it, I'm done. He's like, that's it, I'm done. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoy this race. Stage 3. We'll take a look at the points, or should I say the classifications here. Thomas leading GC. Clark leading the PC. The climbers, Finato still leading the best climbers. Young riders, Higuita leading the young riders. As the Ray McLaren leading the team by 15 seconds over Trek. But yeah, let's go on to, we'll see what happens next in stage 4. I'm Champs. See you in the next race.